What's going on, everyone? Don Saladino coming to you with a full body vector workout. Couple quick things. First, we're gonna anchor it at about knee height. So you can use, right now I'm using a golf cart. You can use a chain link fence, anything with a solid anchor, knee height, all right? Secondly, I want us all to understand that we have to adjust our resistance according to our own level. So stay within yourself, have fun with this. And thirdly, we're gonna use the cinch strap right now. So very simply, we're gonna connect the cinch strap to the vector. We're gonna get going, but before we even hit that, we're gonna go into our warm-up. So the first exercise through the warm-up is gonna be a very basic prisoner squat. So I want your hands behind your ears, but I wanna make sure that we're not extending from our lower back. So ribs down, shoulders back, dropping for 10 repetitions. Right now, we are working on getting those hips open. This is a compound movement where we're working on the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes, working on some dorsiflexion in those ankles. And right now, by pulling my arms back, I'm working on the muscles of my upper back and my posterior chain. And this is gonna really help us out posturally because of all those tough positions we're in during the day. So I like to make sure that our warm-ups are purposeful. This is gonna do it. We're gonna now go into a push-up to reach. We're gonna hit 3 reps on each side. Basically taking a little bit wider stance with our feet to stabilize, dropping down into our push-up, up, reach, opposite side. That's 1 rep. That's 2 repetitions. And that's 3. What are we working on there? Push-ups and plank. We're working on the core. We're getting our glutes activated. We're working on our thoracic turn, working our chest, our shoulders. Now going into a sumo drop squat. Really simply, we're gonna start feet close, drop. 1, 2, a little ballistic here. 3, getting the body a little explosive. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Shake it out, grab some water, get loose, allow, my heart rate's up right now, so quality over quantity. If you feel like you need a little bit more of a break, take it. I'm gonna jump right back into it, into those prisoner squats. 1, 2, getting a little more rhythm. All right, hips are loose, hips are greasy, down in those push-ups. Glutes tight, down. That's 1 rep. Remember, we're just warming up. We're not killing ourselves here. 2. And 3. Oh, a little extra one there. Okay, we're gonna go into that sumo drop squat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dropping into that squat. Okay, now, take your time if you need it. I'm gonna roll right into a half kneeling over the shoulder drill. I'm gonna take a little bit more of a resistance here. I'm gonna go to at least a 2 setting here. All right, this is an anti-rotation drill. We're gonna slip this into our shoulder. We're gonna step out into our half kneeling position. Now it's really important to feel like that you're getting your glutes engaged. All right, so by getting our glutes to turn on, we're gonna get our hip flexor to turn off a bit. And we're gonna hold right now for about 20 seconds. And I'm focusing on breathing. Okay, if that's a little easy, you can move out a little bit, but it's hard enough for me, trust me. Focusing on my breath, staying out of my lower back, making sure I'm not arching my lower back. And 3, 2, 1, we're gonna hop up. We're gonna take the amount of time that we need. We're not gonna rush, okay? I wanna make sure I have a high level of quality here. And if I feel too out of breath, I'm gonna take a second, I'm gonna regroup, and I'm gonna go right back into the next movement. Dropping down, finding that good position, squeezing my glutes, reciprocal inhibition, getting those hip flexors to release a bit, focusing on the core. My abs and core are shaking right now, working on that posterior chain by splaying my elbows out. 3, 2, popping up, all right, done. About 20 seconds each side. So now we're gonna go into our squat facing resistance. So it's almost gonna be the exact same position. I'm gonna slip my arm through. I'm gonna step back, so now I'm pulling the resistance away. If it feels too easy, we can always increase the intensity. We're going to get into that prisoner squat position, and we're gonna go into about 10 reps right now. And I'm really feeling like the Vector is trying to pull my body in one direction, so I have to engage my core and focus on a lot of anti-rotation here. What I love about this drill as well is it's keeping me a little bit more vertical on my squat. I have a tendency to pitch forward and get a little bit more horizontally, and I'm really feeling like this is putting me into a position where I could be a little bit more successful. Let's go 2 more. Last one. Awesome. Slip out, stay within yourself, take your time. Slipping back in. This is actually, what am I on right now? I'm on a 2 setting. This is pretty perfect for me. I feel like if I go any heavier, it's gonna pull me too far forward to where I'm not gonna have any control. So right now, dropping down and up. Whatever we do to one side, we're trying to do to the other. 8, 9, and good. All right, awesome. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna unclip this horizontal clip right here. Okay, and we're gonna go into our overhead raise. So I'm gonna try and drop the resistance because I know this one's gonna get really difficult. And we're gonna take it from 2 different sides. So the first set, I'm gonna grab with my hand closer to the clip. I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna try and pull the cinch strap apart, and I'm gonna raise overhead. Whoa, that's a little too hard. So I'm stepping in. That feels very comfortable. 3, trying to keep my traps down. 5, 6, 7, go 3. Now, what's my main focus here? I'm trying to focus on not allowing my body to move. I really want to try and focus on creating tension in my body and not allow any shrugging or hiking. So the majority of this movement is going to take place in this whole posterior chain back here. All these muscles of the posterior chain, the upper back, is where I'm engaging, which is, in my opinion, one of the most underutilized areas of the body, especially with all the sitting that we end up doing. Let's go here, finding that point. Ooh. Complete different stimulus right now. Trying to rip this cinch strap apart. Squeezing my glutes so I'm not arching my lower back. Let's go for 2 more. Okay. Taking a second, catching my breath, wiping some sweat off here. We're gonna go into our chest press now, where we're gonna do an iso rotation chest press. I am now trying to, same cinch strap position, same hand position. I'm trying to pull the cinch strap apart. I'm gonna start with it in at my chest, and I'm gonna press out. So we're literally trying to rip that cinch strap apart, which is recruiting all these muscles in my upper back and in my shoulder. But man, am I feeling this in my obliques right now. And the good news is, at any point, if we need to, we can crank it up or crank it down. That's the beauty of this right now. It's for all levels, it's for all strength and conditioning levels. I'm gonna show you guys from my back right now. I want you to watch what's going on in my shoulders and in my back. I'm not allowing any dipping. Take up to about 15 seconds right now. That'll be fine. Pressing out. 2, 3, 6. Breathing. Another thing too, your stance. We don't want you too upright because you're not as athletic. I like a slight break in the knees. I like using the ground. I'm almost trying to rip the floor apart with my feet. I'm trying to create tension with the floor. Okay, so now we're gonna jump back into that half kneeling over shoulder. So I'm gonna connect back that cinch strap. I'm gonna take that resistance up a bit, okay? I'm feeling it a little bit right now. That was round 1, I'm going into round 2. We're gonna now, get into that position, firing those glutes for 20 seconds. Breathe, hold, maintain. Now what should you be feeling here? Stretching the hip, glute firing, and my core right now is shaking. All right, if it's easy for you for some reason, it's not for me right now, we can move out from the Vector a bit. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Popping up, catching our breath. I think a big problem with training sometimes is we have a tendency to forget, and we think about we're training our heart rate all the time. We have to be strong during these sets. So if you need a break, take it. All right, let's get back into that position. Breathing into that hip, breathing into those ribs. Going for about 20 seconds right now. Do your best. Come on, we're almost there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Making my adjustment. Perfect. Dropping into our squat now. Get comfortable in my shoulder. Dropping it back a bit. Finding that position. 1. And we're doing about 20 squats right now because we're repeating on both sides, but man, when you feel this pulling one half of your body and it's forcing you to engage with your core, talk about a bigger bang for your buck movement. Man, are we working a lot right now. My heart rate is up, my core is firing, and I'm getting all that necessary work that I'm looking for out of my lower body. 2. All right, so this is the one here. This is the tough movement for me. It's gonna be for most of you, but we're gonna unclick that cinch strap again, okay? And don't feel like you have to raise your hands completely overhead. We can do a variation to about here, about upper forehead, I'm really comfortable with. If you're feeling it, we can go a little higher up, trying to rip those handles apart. I'm literally trying to rip this apart. Keep going. Glutes tight. Now notice something. I started getting a little tall. I started locking my knees out, and then I felt like I couldn't maintain that position. And then I said, whoa, I'm not athletic enough, so I broke the knees a little bit. So even myself, I'm very comfortable with this. There's constant reminders all the time to get back into position. Ripping apart, raising overhead. If you can't go completely overhead, we're gonna go about to forehead. Trying to keep my traps down. Oh my God, upper back, upper shoulders are burning right now. This is when I start procrastinating a bit. All right, we're gonna get through one more movement, taking that resistance up a bit, going into our chest press. Okay, pulling apart, pressing out. 1, trying to maintain that stable base. My obliques, my core. Look at the sweat on my head. There's no faking this. Not even that hot out. Good. Catching our breath. Not to close out with you looking at my back, but watch what's going on in my shoulders and hips. I want you to understand and see that there's no swaying going on. Okay? Almost there. Come on, guys. All right, guys. That was tough. We literally did 2 rounds of a warm-up. We did 2 rounds of work, 4 exercises. We're getting this done in such little time. Look at me right now. All right, I'm sweating, my body has worked. I focused on mobility, I focused on developing strength, and most importantly, I focused on this. Guys, if you have any questions, please fire them off to us below. We will get back to you. Thanks.